today, people.
Jake's Moto Vlogging Channel.
I had to do like 2 back-to-back off-bike videos. Daily vlogs, yo. I need some new tires, and I got these. These are not the normal tires. These are not, you know, we don't usually run these. Basically a street legal knobby that still works on the street and is a knobby. You might be freaking out right now. We went from the Grom's gone, it's being sold, and the Supermoto is not going to be a Supermoto. I mean, what the fuck is going on, alright? Well, obviously the Grom's getting sold to get something else. We're just moving to another chapter, if you will. Naked sport bike things. I think it'd be fun. I think I might have to send my Supermoto wheels off. I know there's a dent on the rear, and I think there's now dents on the front. So knowing that's going to take a little while to get figured out, and I need them off anyway to look at them, I wanted to put my dirt wheels back on. But my dirt wheels, the knobbies on those are not street legal. Those are not DOT knobbies, and it's really hard on them on the street. So I wanted to have something in the meantime. So I'll just get dual sport wheels. I'm still waiting on a rear sprocket, front bearings I'm waiting for. I have to put new front bearings on my dirt wheels because they're locked. Got tubes, you gotta have tubes. Brake pads, which means I need to actually, I was gonna do this. I'm gonna get on the internet real quick and order some steel braided lines because those rubber lines are all wore out. My big Supermoto rotor, I'm gonna put that on my dual sport kit. It'll go right on. I think I'm gonna order a floating rotor whenever I get the Supermoto wheels figured back out. Also got a chain. I think I should change the oil then clean it. All right, I'm gonna change the oil real quick. Bike is on cardboard, which is always good. And of course, before you change your oil, you should always warm the bike up. Let's see, will it start? Moment of truth. No editing if it doesn't start. This bike has 2 oil drain plugs. One wasn't cool enough for it to have 2. Normally I always preach for these dirt bikes things since they use such a small amount of oil and we change them so often. I'm like, you don't need that high dollar stuff. I put this in it last time, the high dollar Ames oil. No sponsorship, just telling you straight up, this stuff, it's actually pretty cool. I hate to admit it. The main thing I've noticed is the water temperature, which I have a digital water temperature on there. The water temperature stays way cooler. The synthetic, you know, it must just heat up slower or something like that. It just does better. And every time I pull that dipstick out, it's still nice and pretty. So I'm gonna put some Ames oil in it. But first, I gotta drain the other drain bolt. I never managed to do these without just making a big oily mess, so cardboard is definitely. So many of these little bolts right here, people will tell me they know the exact like torque numbers for. They'll be like, oh, it needs to be at 8 foot-pounds or 12 or something like that. All these bolts right here, the oil drain bolts, I can tighten those to what I just know feels right, and it's fine. It's just common sense for a lot of these things. I'm not trying to bash those little torque wrenches. If you're somebody who thinks you need one of those, like you feel more comfortable using one, by all means. There we go. Always make sure you have all your O-rings in place, and then in case these WRs, all these bolts are a different size, so don't mix them up. You can't really go in a cross pattern with a triangle, so what I always do is I just get everything to where it's, you know, not tight, but where it's, you know, touching, if you will, where all the looseness has been taken out, and then I go around and tighten it. And then, you know, tighten up. See where I'm holding the wrench, by the way? I'm holding it up here because that's less power. You know, you're not cranking it. That's what I do, at least. I'm an idiot. Another little tip here as I'm changing the oil. This is an empty bottle, and all I've ever used this for after initially using it is to dump this into this, and then this into the bike. One, it makes it a little easier to measure. I think at least it's got like a little measuring thing around the side. These big bottles just sort of have these large, where's the camera? These large big measuring things on here. So this is a little more precise, and this is a lot easier to handle and hold. If you do this, just make sure you mark it or you know that this is my clean oil one. This is what this is for. The other thing I like with this is the WR takes about a quart and a little bit. If I fill this up just almost to the lid right here, usually is about right. And of course we'll use some funnels. This whole dual sport idea, it's going to be kind of fun for a while. To me it's always like the purpose of having a motard is that you sort of have 2 bikes, and both are incredibly capable machines. You can turn it back into a dirt bike, dual sport, Supermoto. It's kind of a little bit of everything. We like to do a lot of off-roading. We like to climb a lot of stairs. Both of those a 21-inch front rim is going to do way better at. Damn it, I did that, didn't I? I'm just making a lot of messes today. One time I started this bike with the filler cap off, and my car was parked right next to it. Just 1 second of it running, because it's right above the flywheel over here. 1 second of it running, it bathed my car in oil, and I had to go get a $100 something car wash to get that off. All right, let's run it and check the fluid. Got to let the initial smoke out of the new oil. It's just this WD-40 I got in the header. It's so clear right now. This is a trick you can do. It's so clear that what you do is you take it and you press it against a piece of paper. Then you look on the paper where it left its mark, and you can see the oil level, and it's perfect. You just look at the oil debris. This is why we use cardboard. Just a quick once over. I mean, it's not great, but whatever. All right, I need to get the brake rotor off of the front one and the sprocket off of the rear one. I just gotta be careful with these Allen key ones too, that you don't strip them out. Now look at that. I mean, actually, this is a Craftsman bit here, and it's pretty decent, I think. And I already gave her just a little wallering by doing that. I hate Allen keys. Well, this is getting to be a bit of a problem. These bolts are stripping, the back bolts are stripping, neither one of them can be turned. Probably fucking rusted together. Yeah, these are just fucked, man. Son of a bitch. So this is why I really, really hate Allen heads like this. They're just fucking stripping the fuck away, man. And at the same time, you're trying to pull on the back side of them. And you can only fit a wrench kind of over these. You can't really get one down in there. Like to put a full, 6-point on there. So those are now stripped too. A bunch of those are rounded. You can see that one right there. And the tools aren't bending or fucking up. They're fine. It's just that thing is fucked. So what I'm gonna have to do now, these are just go ahead and consider these a write-off. I'm to order a new set, and to get these off, I'm gonna have to take a drill into those, and really hopefully try not to fucking bust up the bolt there. You gotta go to small size right in the middle, and then basically wider and wider until basically the head tries to fall off. It's going to be a giant pain in the ass and probably take a long time. Right, so it's been a few minutes. I was able to get 3 of them out. Drilling it out, as you can see, you basically go into the top here, drill it, and then the idea is if you get down into this part, and of course you try to really center it so you don't booger any of this up. As you get to here, if you went all the way through, the head would suddenly pop off and the bolt would fall out the bottom. What's left of it, you're literally drilling right into the hardened steel of the bolt though, so it is not easy at all. Okay, update. It's night, as you can see now. Took maybe 2 hours, and we have gotten 6 bolts out. Got a little sketchy there for a minute. Thought I was gonna have to go to a machine shop to get this done. I managed to get them all out. I think I may have slightly marred the rim a little bit on the inside on this one, just a hair. Dude, whoever assembled this wheel from Yamaha, I don't know if this wheel was put together on a Monday or something, but literally on the back side of the aluminum here on this hub, and this is a strong piece of this, like, billet aluminum or something. There's slight grooves in there from the back side of the washers. These things were fucking tight, guys. And I know you probably would have liked to see me film it, but it's just one of those things where you just got to get in there and get to work. Often happens with these as you drill these down, and maybe you'll be able to tell the head will actually start, if it's under so much pressure, will start warping and bending to one side. And so you can kind of see it's bent there. And so what happens is that will help it get loose enough. You can grab the backside with some vice grips, kind of hammer. I've got a screwdriver. You always get a good old flathead screwdriver and just dedicate to doing dumb shit like this. You don't really ever. I don't use this as a screwdriver. This is something that gets hammered into things and vice grips and they're all off. The new set will be here, which I guess isn't too big of a deal because I also had a few more parts I was waiting on, but I gotta fucking love the little hang-ups like that. I've had that happen many times before, but in the shop you have a drill press and it's just done. I think I'm gonna call it quits though. My wife's got tacos inside. This is just pissing me off to no end. Like, this is done. I'm glad I can walk away with this knowing it's done, but I'm fucking tired of working on this thing. I think I'll pick this up in the morning.